Welcome back to Learning with me, Ms. Killen, here at MPB. We're still in our 4th unit of working with those functions. We're going to go into lesson 4B, which is going to be multiplying my functions. I can multiply polynomials written in function notation. So we are also looking at standards APR 1. So let's just dive on in. As in previous review lessons, remember our FOIL and box method. Use your choice of methods to evaluate the following. I am going to do FOIL just because it's my favorite. It reminds me of tinfoil. That's why I do it. So my first two terms, I am going to get 18x squared. My outer terms, I'm going to get negative 6x. My inner terms, I'm going to get a positive 24x. And then my last terms, I'm going to get negative 8. Always going to put those like terms together for an ending result of 18x squared plus 18x minus 8. If you do the box method, you're going to get the same thing, just a different way. So now that we've reviewed, just like when we multiplied polynomials, we use the same concepts when presented with functions. So I've got my three functions over here. F of x equals 4x squared minus 2x plus 1. G of x equals 2x minus 9. H of x equals 3x squared minus 2. Determine which method would be best. Okay, so let's look at number 1. It says I'm going to multiply f of x to g of x. So let's go ahead and write that so we can see what the problem looks like. I've got 4x squared minus 2x plus 1 times g of x is 2x minus 9. Now you want to make sure that you're writing in those note pages exactly what the problems are, and make sure that you're writing different notes. I'm using my FOIL method, first out in last, or I'm using the box method, multiplying top to side. If you write those enough, it's going to click, so then it's automatically in your head. This is how I do this, this is how I do this. So I'm going to use the box method on this. Let's see what I got. So I'm going to go ahead and build my box. I have 3 terms and 2 terms. I'm going to use 4x squared minus 2x plus 1. Then I have 2x minus 9. Since I'm using the box method, I'm going to multiply top to side. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 plus 1 is 3. Negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4x squared. Anything times 1 is itself. Then my next. Negative 9 times 4 is a negative 36x squared. Negative 9 and negative 2 is a positive 18x. Anything times 1 is itself. I am adding corner to corner. So I have 8x to the third. Negative 36 plus a negative 4 is going to give me a negative 40x squared. 18 plus 2 is going to give me a positive 20x. And then my constant. 8x to the third minus 40x squared plus 20x minus 9. Check your work, check my work, see if everything was done, make sure that we put like terms together, and see what you got as the answer. So now I'm looking at number 2. I'm going to take g of x and I'm going to multiply it to h of x. So let me go ahead and write that up here so I can see what it looks like. So g of x is 2x minus 9 times 3x squared minus 2. Now, they both look like binomials, but what do I see in that second binomial? I have a square and then I have my constant. I'm missing a degree. So when I miss a degree, I put a what? I put a 0 as a placeholder. I'm going to use box on this one and see what we can get. Let's try it. 3x squared, 0, minus 2. Then I have 2x minus 9. Now I am going to multiply top to side. So I get 6x to the third. Anything times 0 is 0. Negative 4x. Negative 9 times 3 is negative 27x squared. Anything times 0 is 0. Negative 9 and negative 2 is a positive 18. I'm adding corner to corner, so I have 6x to the third. Negative 27 times 0 is negative 27x squared. 0 plus negative 4 is negative 4x. And then I have my constant. Look at yours, look at mine, see if they match up, see if your positive numbers and your negative numbers, see what you did with those zeros for that placeholder. Make sure that you're getting those right answers. Let's do number 3. It says f of x times h of x. So let's see what that's going to look like. So I'm going to use this one. F of x, so I have 4x squared minus 2x plus 1 times my h of x, which is 3x squared minus 2. Again, I'm going to use box method. Let me build it here. So I'm going to have 3 on top, but now what do I notice on the side? I'm going to have 3 on the side. So I've got 4x squared minus 2x plus 1, 3x squared, 0 for my 1 degree, minus 2. Still multiplying that top to side. 4 times 3 is 12. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 times a negative 2 is negative 6. 2 plus 1 is 3. Anything times 1 is itself. Anything times 0, 0. And then to the bottom. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8x squared. Negative 2 and negative 2 is positive 4. Bring down the x. Anything times 1 is itself. Still adding corner to corner. So I am going to have 12x to the fourth. 0 plus negative 6 is negative 6x to the third. Negative 8 plus 0 plus 3 is going to be a negative 5x squared. 4 plus 0 is plus 4x. Then my constant. 12x to the fourth minus 6x to the third minus 5x squared plus 4x minus 2. Check your work. Check my work. Make sure our like terms are put together. Make sure that we had those zeros as placeholders. Now let's look at number 4. Number 4 is a little different. F of x plus g of x plus h of x. This one's a little different. I'm going to erase my work here so I will have some room to add all of these up. And then here we go. F of x, 4x squared minus 2x plus 1. And I'm adding these, remember. G of x, 2x minus 9. H of x, 3x squared minus 2. Stop. You got this written. Stop. Why do I have holes in my problem? There's some places that there's nothing there. Well, I can only add like terms, right? I can only subtract like terms, right? So if I don't have x squared in the expression, I just don't put anything there. If you want to put a 0 there for a placeholder, that's perfectly fine, because when you add or subtract a 0, nothing happens. So now let's go and let's try to put these together. 4 plus 3 is 7x squared. Negative 2 plus 2 plus 0 is 0. So I'm just going to leave that off. 1 plus a negative 9 plus a negative 2 gives me negative 10. So when I add all 3 of those equations, no, excuse me, not those equations, but those expressions together, or those functions together, I get a binomial. 7x squared minus 10. Check your work, check my work. Let's make sure that we're putting like terms together and seeing that we only had a couple of spots that didn't have numbers. We could put zeros there, just placeholders. If you didn't, that's okay. That's okay. Let's see what's next. It says, let's do some practice. Consider the following. H of x equals 6x plus 1. W of x equals 2x to the third minus 6x squared plus 4. Find h of x times w of x. FOIL is sometimes called double distributive. Sometimes it's just called double distributive. I distribute once and then I distribute again and so forth and so on. So you will sometimes hear that double distributive, which is fine. And then we have our box. I think I'm going to use box for this. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my box. And then I'm going to put my largest on top, which is 2x to the third minus 6x squared. I don't have anything for just my plain x. And then I'm going to put plus 4. I have two terms on the side, 6x plus 1. I'm going to multiply from top to side, and let's see what we get. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 plus 1 is 4. Negative 6 times a positive 6 is a negative 36. 2 plus 1 is 3. Anything times 0 is 0. And then 6 times 4 is 24, and bring over the x. Let's go down. 2 times 1, or anything times 1, is itself. Negative 6x squared times 1 is itself. Anything times 0 is 0. And positive 4 and 1 is going to be a positive 4. I'm going to add my like terms by adding corner to corner or diagonally. So I'm going to have 12x to the fourth. 2 plus a negative 36 is going to be a negative 34x to the third. Negative 6x plus 0 is negative 6x squared. 0 plus 24x is plus 24x. And then I have my constant. 12x to the fourth minus 34x squared minus 6x squared plus 24x plus 4. Making sure you're putting those like terms together. You can only add like terms. Good job. Let's do some practice some more, okay? I want you to pause the video and try this one by yourself. Any method you would like. While you do your work on your notes page, I'm going to do it on the board. When you're done, look up and see what you got. All right, I used the FOIL method, just because I like FOIL method. I got 4x squared minus 17x plus 4. Because I put my like terms together, negative 16x minus x is going to give me that negative 17x. So, got to make sure that we put those like terms together. All right, test question. Let's try a test question. See what you can figure out with this problem. Remember, how do we solve for area? Well, how do we solve for area? Area equals length times width. So I'm going to go ahead and read it for you. A box is mailed to Amazon from your school. Your teacher wants to wrap the box in brown paper. She asks that the front be colored in pink paint. The lady at Amazon wants to know what square inch will be colored on the front. Use the figure below to solve what the area amount will be colored in pink. All right? So you and your table partner, or you and your partner, period, or just you, go ahead and work this one. I'm going to work this one, and then we're going to compare our notes. Here we go. So I'm multiplying length times width. So I have 5x plus 6 times 6x plus 5. I'm going to FOIL it. I'm going to get 30x squared plus 25x plus 36x plus 30, putting my like terms together, and then I'm going to take 25 and I'm going to add 36 to it. So what I get is 30x squared plus 61x plus 30. See if you got the expression that I did, 30x squared plus 61x plus 30. All right, so now that we've got the expression, let's see what else the problem says. It says if x equals 2, what is the exact, here's that word. On your notes page, color around it, highlight it, box it, whatever. Just show that you're looking for the exact. So now when it says what's the exact amount, I'm going to take that 2, and everywhere in my expression that I see an x, that's what I'm going to plug in. So let's do that. So I've got 30 times 2 squared plus 61 times 2 plus 30. Now, I'm going to put that just like that into my calculator. There's no sense of me guessing or did I do, no, calculator skills. So let's go ahead and plug it in. So let's see, 30 parentheses 2 parentheses squared plus 61 parentheses 2 parentheses plus 30. And what do you get as your inches? I get 272 inches squared. You always want to label your numbers. If you just put 272, it could be 272 inches cubed. It could be 272 inches pizza slices. It could be 272 people. You always want to make sure that you are labeling exactly what that number is, because on those test questions, you could have inches squared or inches cubed. And if you don't know which measurement you're dealing with, you're going to get the problem wrong. So we always want to make sure that we are labeling what we're talking about. Good job. All right, I don't want to forget, multiplying functions, we are using the box method or we're using our FOIL. We're wanting to make sure that all of our degrees are present and we're putting in zeros for those missing terms. And never forget, when I am looking for my area, I am always doing length times width. I'm so glad that you showed up to learn with us here at MPB. I'm Miss Killen, and I want you to have a great day.